I hope I mentioned earlier that I have tried to be careful with intellectual property and not show anything in these videos that's not already out public. iPhone, for example, has done a great job of demonstrating some of these ideas, but of course we couldn't mock up an iPhone on a touchscreen and show that to you because that's not our intellectual property, although hypothetically, if we were to have done that, it would have taken a couple of days. What I can show you here is this is our SDK that's on the public website now, just to show off a few ideas about the widgets. And it's just as I got it from the website, although I have changed this one little widget here, shiny. You can see it's going to crash. I purposely put a bug in there to show what happens when a widget doesn't work well. That widget crashes. It doesn't hurt anything else in the system. It's a little bit helpful that we get a message here about where it crashed. Although this being an SDK, there should be much more helpful ways to get through this problem, and I'll show that. For example, we have a just-in-time debugger that can catch a run and help us find these things. Now I'll run that again with the just-in-time debugger enabled. And in this case, when the crash occurs, you can see we're starting up the debugger and making connection and setting the breakpoints and getting information for real just-in-time debugging. You can see, for example, here we have the line where some errors have occurred. We can examine typical debug stuff. Well, in a moment we can. Here, for example, is examining the variables. I wanted to show one I thought was interesting. I just said a moment ago that the widgets are safe from each other. We do allow a mechanism for them to publish capabilities, and some extra security mechanisms on that, which are nice, patentable, and good things to talk about. You know, alert boxes, able to publish things like that. The other reason I have switched to this view of our SDK and a full filming of my desktop is I really wanted to show off another aspect of what we're talking about, which is to really get away from the phone. Here, let me stop debugging and get back just to this phone window. You saw in the previous demos this little game running. Yeah, we're all familiar with it. It's a lot of fun. I want to show that this Windows simulator here we have is really just sort of a facade on something. I can go ahead and detach that screen, close the window here, and what we have now, this is the same view, but it's a little more clear that what we're talking about when we're talking about a Midas widget really is just a widget. In this case, you know, this is really no different than a Yahoo widget. It's prettier than most of the Google widgets I've seen, or confabulator widgets. It's just the widget concept done pretty well. I'm not very good at this game, so I'll go ahead and finish. Let's force this to end quickly. Game over, and so is my little video. I hope you enjoyed it.